Hello, I'm Paul.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Ben.
And welcome to the Film Busters podcast. The film show with no filters, no prisoners taken, loads of disagreements, but one hell of a love for cinema.
If you want to hear three friends ridiculing each other for an hour or so regarding their taste in films, then you have come to the right place.
In each episode, one of the team picks a film for us to discuss. It could be anything from a recent cinema release to an all-time classic.
So, strap in and get ready to get mad or get vindicated as we guide you through the murky world of being a film geek.
If you like what you hear, you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram using @FilmbustersPod. You can also find each of our individual accounts. I'm at Filmbusters Paul.
I'm at Filmbusters Adam.
And I'm at Filmbusters Ben.
If you want to use your eyes instead of your ears, you can also visit the website at filmbusters.pod.co.uk.
And if busting makes you feel good, you can also support us at patreon.com/filmbusters for exclusive content.
Alright, can we just get on with this now, please?
Filmbusters.
I like pretty girls.
Oh, he fucking sucks so much,
I like pretty girls.
He's been singing it already before you came on, Ben.
I like pretty girls.
That's so annoying. He's absolutely pathetic. Absolutely creepy as
He's
fuck.
like 56 years old
I
and he's
know.
singing that song.
Horrendous.
You're such a creep, mate. Ugh. What is going on? I think the thing with him is he always was a creep. It's just when he was younger, it seemed fine. But think about how over the top he was when he was younger.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
It always reminds me of Family Guy when he raps, and it's like Will Smith, the most respectfful rapper out there, and he's like saying this about girls, and it's always like, he doesn't swear. It's always very like, yeah. And yet now every time I hear him, I just can't think of him. That he's actually, when he raps, he's actually like if he was on a children's show or something.
Yeah,
She's dead.
Yeah. Should we talk about something more fun?
Yeah.
what's that?
Well, me and Ben went to see 28 Years Later.
Oh, yeah. Go on. You're not going to talk about this, are you?
We're not doing an episode on it. We'll just talk about it.
As it currently stands, it
Go
will
on.
get into my end of month as it currently stands.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, maybe.
So
we
I
won't
don't
talk
know
about
how
it
much
then.
we want to say or not. I think it's
Talk
probably
about your
been Adam's end of.
experience more than
I'll
anything, then.
just say Ben was quite drunk and he was shouting out in the middle of the film that he didn't like a part of it, and the two girls in
100%.
front turned around and they looked at him with the most disgust ever.
I 100% did not shout out in the cinema. Do you believe that I would shout out in the cinema? Even when I'm drunk,
don't
I do
know.
not shout
You're
out in the
drunk.
cinema, mate.
You were talking and they did look around. He
Yeah, I
was
was
getting
talking
very,
softly.
he was getting very passionate about a moment in the film we didn't like.
There was I had a few tipples beforehand. Shout out to Justin if he's listening to this episode. I was having some drinks with Justin before I came and saw you, and then by the time I arrived up at Covent Garden, I went to the Harp. Paul, you will attest, you saw in the WhatsApp group that there was some agreement that he would meet me outside the Harp. So I went to the Harp and had my third pint. It was only 3
You
pints.
were already at the Harp, and I said,
Yeah.
shall I go there or shall I meet you? And then you didn't respond to me, and I lost signal, so I just went to the cinema.
Yeah, and so I was just like, come on, let's just sack off the film. Let's just have a drink. So yeah, but and then fucking 28 days later, marketing team, great job. They just had branded beer.
Yeah. And Ben was
28
very
weeks later,
happy.
branded beer.
And then we sat in our seats, and Ben was like, "Oh, we've got half an hour till the film starts. You reckon we can run to the Harp and get another pint and come back?"
No. But I
This
stayed
does
awake
sound
for the
like
whole
you.
film. Yeah, I mean, that was me.
Sometimes Ben gets the energy, and when he gets the energy, he gets the energy.
We went and had champagne after the film.
Yes, Ben also thought it would be a very good idea to go to a very expensive champagne bar.
Do you still regret it, or are you quite happy?
And then he was like,
No,
he
it was
kept
fun.
trying to get me to have dinner with him, and I was like, Ben, I've eaten my dinner, and he's like, I haven't eaten mine. He's like, will you come and have Will you come and have mussels with me? I was like, Ben, it's 10:15 at night. I'm not having mussels, and he's like, I'm not having it by myself. And I was like, I'll sit
I'm not
with
gonna
you,
eat by
and he
myself.
was getting very upset.
So we went and had Guinness instead because that's like a meal. So
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Chewing through that.
I didn't have any dinner. I had half a bag of that free popcorn that they give you at the screenings and a Greggs sausage roll.
Yes.
No wonder you were shouting in the cinema.
I know. Well, that's it. It's because I didn't have the food. It hit me. Yesterday, I was feeling none too clever at all. I really was not feeling well at all yesterday.
No. So I was fine because I had my dinner.
I love how you're just not telling anyone that Danny Boyle was there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was quite understated. He didn't really say much, to be honest. He just said that the film, you better like the film because we need to make more of them. And I was like, well, that's annoying because now we know it's a trilogy.
I know. But I mean, like, the thing is, he was like, Yeah. So we put a lot of love into it, and we're so glad to be giving it its world premiere here in London of all places, which is like cool and everything. But he kind of put a lot of pressure on us in the crowd to like it.
Mm.
And I really wish that I could say that I did. And I liked it.
It's good.
So I did like it.
You're from your scores, I'd say you both liked it.
It's refreshing
Yeah.
in the... Yeah, there's not much out still like it. And when it's done well, he still does it. It doesn't quite capture the magic of 28 days later.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the best bit of the whole film is everything that involves Rafe Fiennes. That bit is my favourite bit.
So from my grasping of the little I know about it, he's something to do with some kind of, it feels like a religious kind of element? Or is that totally wrong?
No,
I'm not going to say.
It's just how different people are surviving in the zombie world. He's got his way, some people have got their way.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
And in many ways, what you say is kind of right, Paul, but also not. So that's the bit that's interesting.
Okay. Well, say no more, because I'm potentially seeing it tomorrow. So
well, the only thing I will say is Danny Boyle at the beginning of the film, right before he left, he was like, "It's an all British cast apart from one American actor who
He's a one foreign actor. He says so. He didn't say American.
Well, I thought he said American.
No, he said one surprise actor at the end.
Either way, he said you'll know him when you see him, and then someone appears in the film, and everyone in the crowd annoyingly started laughing and got everything he was saying. So I was like, okay, this is clearly the surprise fucking person.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was somebody else who turned up about halfway through the film.
I thought it was Tom Hardy.
He's British.
Yeah, but this guy was British. That he had a British accent.
Let's not say anything. Let's talk about it.
Is it someone American playing someone British?
No.
Well, let's say nothing. You'll see for yourself tomorrow, Paul. And
if you don't, then we can talk about it.
It's completely fucking jarring.
You told me that someone appeared at the end, and I just expected it to be Cillian Murphy.
I'm not going to say nothing about that. All I will say is the ending is quite terrible. Well, not terrible, but it's very annoying.
I guess we can debrief about this on the next monthly roundup. Yeah.
Paul, I genuinely don't think you're going to like it. I don't think you're going to like
Paul,
it.
you love 28 Days Later, don't you?
I do love it, yeah.
And I think there's so many moments where they recapture it in bits.
Okay.
In bits, and there's a couple of clever things, but it really, I think a lot of people are disappointed in this film. Not me, this isn't why I'm disappointed, but I think a lot of people are disappointed because there are it's barely a horror film. There's very little infected in it.
Okay.
Hardly any. And it's not really about the infected either.
Okay. Interesting.
Not that 28 Days Later focus on them loads, but do not expect 28 Days Later.
Okay. I'll go in with that mindset and see what happens.
Yeah. All the Ray Fiennes bits, brilliant. Great. Loved it.
Lovely. Well, yeah, we can speak about it in more depth on our monthly roundup coming up. So I might as well say now, we've got a Patreon, everyone, www.patreon.com/filmbusters. We can get all this exclusive content where we talk about films that we've watched recently, films that were massive blind spots that we've caught up on, and also bonus episodes on films that only patrons get to listen to. So all that coming up and all of that already done. And if that interests you, www.patreon.com/filmbusters. And today, everyone, it's my pick. We're in the 2011 round, and I brought Headhunters to the table. Do you want to do the staple of every episode?
Let's do the staple of every episode. The staple of every episode is when I ask these two boys 2 quiz questions, and we're tallying it up as the year goes on. It always relates to the film that we're covering, new listeners. So, Paul, what's the scores at the moment? I'm not aware of this.
I'm top of the pile on the 10 points.
Adam has been giving himself points.
You are the middle of the pile on the 6 points, and only on 6 points because you answered a question about what an animal is.
Yes.
Yes.
Looking at an animal, you had to say what the animal was, and then you got it. So that's quite easy, but it's fine.
It was a costume.
Well, you should have turned up for the episode, Paul. If you were there, the question would have remained, and you'd have had a chance to get it.
Presenteeism, that's it. You get points for being present, Paul.
Yeah.
Well, someone had a plumber coming round, didn't they?
I had a plumber.
Anyway, dressed as a tiger.
It's fine. Ben, you're on 4 points, bottom of the pile.
Okay. Well, that could all change today. Are you ready?
Let's hope so. Let's do it.
Are you ready for the quiz question?
I hope so.
Okay. Roger Brown is a short man. But in feet and inches, how tall is he?
Feet and inches?
Correct. First one to shout it out gets it.
5'7".
Adam has it.
You got it.
Or does he?
Oh, so I
Paul,
guess I get
let's hear what you have to say.
Well, I'd probably say 5'6".
Paul has it.
Bollocks. I was going to say
Yes!
5'6", but then I went, he's got to be a bit taller.
Yeah, because I thought 5'8's not short.
But he says it in centimetres in the film, doesn't he? He says 100 and... whatever it is,
168 centimetres, yes.
Yeah.
Which is shorter than me.
I thought he said 675, fuck's sake.
Yeah, there you go.
That's why.
I'm 5'7", I'm 170.
That's why I said it,
5'7".
because I'm 5'7".
Are you 5'7"? So why is all the jokes about me being short then, when you're the same fucking size as me?
And I'm like 5'7 and a half.
Oh, in your high heels, perhaps, yes.
Yeah.
I'm 5'11", everyone, if anyone wants to know. I'm towering above them both.
He's this real lanky... That you look so peculiar being all strung out like that, man.
I got the long
come
limbs.
And come and get condensed like us.
Yeah.
Gravity ain't weighing me down, baby.
Okay, ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
A famous lads magazine makes an appearance in this film. Well done.
I fucking saw it, mate. Of course I did. I saw that on the
out
table.
all the evidence.
He's got a one-track mind, this Paul. And that's 2 points to Paul. Paul's fucking running away with it. He's got double your points, Adam. And Paul is now on 12.
Because he's been adding the points to his total when he feels like it.
Absolute bollocks, mate.
You did. You added it for the radiator question, didn't you?
I'm being left in dust.
Yes, I did. Do you want me to take the radiator question off?
Yes.
Oh, that's just cheating for your part now, isn't it?
What we agreed on the podcast is what stays.
Paul has the radiator question. Since Adam got the lion question, Paul can have the radiator question.
And the tiger as well. The amount of times you called it a lion in the episode. The lion, the lion,
this is a
man.
quiz. No one can really win the quiz because even when people get points in the episode, by the next episode we realise that I've given the wrong answer or something. So
no, you gave the right answer in the quiz, but through the rest of the episode you said lion.
All right. Coffee black and egg white. Pull me
black
out
and egg white.
from inside. I am ready. I am ready. I am ready. I am. What's that? How does it relate to our podcast? Everything that I just said.
It's a song, right?
Yeah.
Because I know it, but I can't think what it is.
The song is called Colorblind.
And it relates to the episode.
It relates to our podcast and an episode I think we've done in the last 6 months.
Oh, right. I thought you meant this film.
No.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I feel like
I'll just tell you, it's not very interesting. Counting Crows sang it in Cruel Intentions.
That's it, yeah. I did have it on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't think what it was.
Well, there you go. Now I've told you.
I think you might it more on like the back of your tongue, on your total sauce.
Yeah, maybe the back of the tongue. I was deep throating that answer.
Whoa. This is terrible.
As Cruel Intentions would want it to be.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Terrible talk.
Terrible. Should we talk about this film?
Yep.
The first 5 pages, I hated the guy I was going to play. I mean, he was everything I don't want to be. He is lying, he's stealing, he's cheating, and basically he's this guy in his tailor-made suit that I want to punch in the face. After one more page, I started to like him a bit because he got some trouble. Then he got even more trouble. Then I started to root for him. At the end of the script, I loved him and wanted to be like him, and that's a good arc for a character to have. Right,
everyone, this is a spoiler episode. We are talking about Headhunters today from 2011. It's directed by Martin Tildum. We're going to spoil it terribly for you. So if you want to go watch it first, you might want to do that because otherwise we're going to ruin all the details for you. You won't want that.
All of them plot points. They'll be
Guess
gone.
What? You wouldn't think, but there's one person who's been in a film we've done before. And Adam's never going to get it, but I'll be really interested if Ben gets it.
Oh, I won't get it. I don't recognise anyone from this film apart from...
As soon as I tell you, you're going to be like, oh shit, yeah.
Is it the detective?
Nope.
Oh, that's the only one I thought it might have been.
Can you tell me the character?
It's Diana, the wife.
Oh.
Really?
What? She's in an American film?
Yes.
Or... Oh, I don't. Let me see what her name is.
It's a film
What's her
that
name?
only me and you did on the podcast.
Is it something from Fright Fest?
It could appear in Fright Fest, but it didn't.
Something only me and you did. It wasn't Free from Hell,
No.
was it?
No. There's not many cast members in this film. There's probably like, I don't know, 10, like 15 to 20 at the most.
Is it a Tony Scott film?
No. Horror film.
Horror film
Yeah.
that only me and you did without Adam. I haven't got a clue, mate.
We
What is
did
it?
it. We basically did a spoke about it literally after we came back from the cinema.
Oh, Saw X. What? She's not Jigsaw's. Oh, she's the Doctor.
Yes.
Oh my God! Wow.
There you
Oh
go.
wow.
Can you
Look at
picture her
that.
now? You can see her now, can't you?
Yeah, I can indeed, man. Well, there you go. This is why we have the letterbox account on film buses so that we can find out all this stuff. That's interesting. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Little tidbit
So, would you
for
say she's gone up in the world?
in our estimations, yeah. I think
Yes.
like to be in a beloved series that we love, yeah, I'd say it's up. But then most people
Yeah.
probably say it's down.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
She'll never appear in anything again. That's fine.
probably not. Right, Adam, you wanna do a little bit of plot rundown of this film?
Yeah, this is about a man who's a recruiter and basically refuses to get therapy, so he just becomes mental.
Ow. I know what he's getting at with that comment.
If he didn't have, like, yeah, we'll talk about our first impressions, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I give you some stuff.
Let's have it.
Okay. It was nominated for a BAFTA for Best Foreign Language Film back in 2011. It's the highest grossing Norwegian film in history, if you can believe it. Quite something.
Oh wow.
Adapted from the novel by Jo Nesbø. I see that name all the time.
Oh yeah,
She's
Jo
one of
Nesbø.
those. I believe it's a woman. It's one of those names that you just see all over the shelves. Like very common name on the bookshelves. But
Like
I
thrillers.
Yes, I never go into them because whenever, for some reason, I don't like those novelists who are really famous for writing loads of crime books. I always think, it can't be that good. It's very watered down, you know. Anyway,
It's also a man.
is it a man? Is it?
Jo Nesbø's a man, yeah.
Okay, him then. Same rules apply. James McAvoy. It had a budget of 30 million NOK. N-O-K. I don't know what NOK is, so I don't really know what that
Norwegian
translates
kroner,
to.
I guess, wouldn't it?
Norwegian kroner, very good, yes, but I don't know what that is in sterling.
Well, you should have some better research.
Yes. They ran out of money when they were making the film despite that, and so they had to steal footage from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the original one, the Swedish one, not the American one.
Oh,
and
shit.
they digitally altered the car that was in the footage so that they could use it in this film and pass it off as those. There was and has been a American remake planned since 2011. There is an American film studio who owns the rights to it, but it is still in production. I don't know why they need to do it.
Yeah, I don't know why.
30 million
why?
Norwegian kroner is about 2.2 million pounds.
2.2 million. Very
so
good.
what's that? Probably about $3.5 million or something.
Very good. And the Kingslayer's dog is called, the breed is a Doggo Argentino, which I've never heard of before.
Someone's
And,
taking the piss with that name.
This is true, Doggo Argentino, and it's apparently a breed which is considered very dangerous, so it's banned in Norway entirely. So him importing it or him bringing it into the country has some significance. I don't know why.
Do you reckon it was a commentary? The fact that they threw it on the spikes of a tractor?
Yeah, maybe. How did you boys feel about that?
Very mean.
I'm an animal lover, but you boys are the dog lovers.
Very sad.
Well, maybe we'll get into it.
No, we'll get into it. So there you go. That's all.
Lovely stuff. Good facts there. Thank you.
Wow. You're welcome.
It's okay. This is my
I
film.
know it's okay. I said you're welcome.
Well, you're welcome for my welcome.
Oh, thanks. Cheers.
This is my film. And
Thanks.
so I get to decide first impressions. And I think I'll just go first.
That's
And
not very
then-
good manners.
And then I'm going to let Adam decide whether he wants to go first or second after that.
Oh, look at that. This is something new.
I'll wait for you to talk and then I'll decide.
Okay. Okay. As I said, last episode, I've seen this film before.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing like the posters and the trailers when it was like first released, and for some reason I was adamant to watch it. For some reason, I think it was just that time when I was really getting into film and exploring the whole different spectrum of different films I could watch, and but that doesn't mean I remember anything that happened in it. But this experience, I think it's good. I think it's an enjoyable and tight little story. I think the biggest thing I appreciate about it is probably its like sense of humour. I guess it has this like very slight funny bone, and I think we can kind of like it's got a vein of humour running through it, and it's like very clumsy as well, which I kind of like that kind of comedy string. So it's like the situations that Roger finds himself in, like, well, not even Roger in this, like the bit where like his friend Owen is running around naked shooting. It's like random off the wall shit, like trying to throw him in the lake when he's still alive, like getting in the toilet, these random two obese policemen, and the fact that they're cushioning his fall when they crash. And I think the funniest non-funny bit in this whole thing was when he's put his hair into the peanut packet, which at the time I thought was a Pom Bear packet. And I was like, what's he doing? But I thought it was quite a clever little plan he had. Anyway, it's all so bizarre, but it kind of adds to a certain energy to the story that I kind of appreciated. But I'm not really surprised that I didn't really remember too much about it, because although it's good, it doesn't really do much to have huge staying power. And like part of that might come from keeping us a distance from actually liking Roger or Rogger, whatever they call him, and like you're on the ride with him, but you're never really on his side. And like as you said, especially when he's killing that dog, even though he had no choice, but he kills the dog, and then he's riding around with it on the front of a tractor, but it's like that kind of also adds to that level of lunacy that I was talking about. It's just such a random off the wall thing that's happening, but I like it. I don't think it's great, but I like it, and you kind of know what that means. That's my first impressions.
I know what that means. Yes.
Yeah. Over to you, Adam.
I'll go off the back of that.
Okay.
Because I kind of agree with most of what you said. Yeah, it's funny. It's good, but it's not very memorable. And I only watched it on Sunday, and yeah, it's struggling to get. I do think the main thing I did struggle with is the fact that you don't want him to win, or you don't want him to get out of it, and being a very two-dimensional film.
That's interesting. Let's go back to that when you've finished.
There's not, like, you get to the point where you're like, who am I rooting for here? Like, why am I watching you go through all of this shit if I don't actually want you to get out of it? And he just keeps getting out of it. It's not like the film knows that he's a dick and then he gets his comeuppance almost. The film just lets him keep getting away with it, and you're like, well, I don't want you to keep getting away with it anymore, and he keeps getting away with it. So it did kind of grate on me. And this is before the dog thing happened, but once the dog thing happened, I was like, come on, like, you can't have, like, killing a dog, one thing, him driving around on the tractor, I don't know, very Norwegian. He reminded me a lot of Steve Buscemi. I've got very Norwegian Steve Buscemi vibes off him. And again, I think I hinted at the beginning, it's just like, man, if you just go and talk about your issues, you talk to your wife and you talk to everybody else, you don't have to go around stealing artwork to live this life that you can't actually afford, and you don't get yourself in all of this shit. So yeah, it's like it was a good film, but at the end of the day, it's just like, it started to grate on me in those kind of ways where I was a bit like, okay, you're not addressing some issues I want you to address in this film. And with it being cat and mouse, I think you kind of need to. It doesn't really, there's not other things going on that kind of help you.
You think they're going to address like the mental health of men in this film?
Well, I think just literally go to therapy, and you don't want people, your wife won't care about your height, and if you've got loads of money and don't, yeah, and you can have a baby without her loving. She'd probably love you more if you gave her a baby than, yeah.
Wouldn't be a fun film then, would it?
No, it wouldn't be. But it'd be more, what do you call it, satisfying in the end.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, you boys have pretty much said exactly how I feel as well. I feel the same way as you, Paul, in that it was enjoyable. To be honest with you, I really don't have many complaints about the film. Like, I don't have things like with Warrior. There was stuff that I was like, oh, this was annoyed me. They should have done this. But yeah, the film is very enjoyable romp all the way through. Gets a bit silly and ridiculous, but in a good way, with him being in the toilet and all of that nonsense. Yes. But I agree with Adam that the big thing, I think, that kind of holds it back, but at the same time the character had to be like that, is him being a dickhead. He's not a nice guy. I don't
absolutely.
like him. I don't root for him. But then the problem with that is you've got Jaime Lannister there, and okay, this was made when the year Game of Thrones came out, so he wasn't really not in the US or for the Western. For us in the UK and the US, he was not a name really. So he's like this non-entity in the film. I never feel anything for him. I never think, oh, he's a dangerous guy. I never think he's a cool guy or anything like that. I just think, oh, you're a very bland antagonist. So if we don't like our main character and then you've got a boring kind of antagonist, it's like,
that's what I mean. You don't know who you want to win these situations.
I know. But then mercifully, he's actually not in it all that much. So that kind of works fine. And I think maybe I didn't really like that we had to get like the whole exposition info dump from his mistress at the end to really explain everything. It could have been done a bit more, because here's the bottom line. This is what still kind of confuses me. The Kingslayer, I'm going to call him everything but his character's name in this because I can't remember what it is. Kingslayer, his whole motivation was to get the job of the CEO at that company. He'd never left Hote, so he always just wanted to absorb Pathfinder.
Absorb the company.
Yeah. But why was he then trying to kill this guy?
Because Rogger was going to ruin his reputation.
Yeah, see, the reputation thing, okay. So the reputation thing was not super strong for me. I was like, oh, yeah.
All the artwork bait to get him to come.
It was all like, yeah, I mean, it was essentially like very fragile fucking men being like, oh, my reputation, so I must kill you.
Yeah, I think
but I had enjoyable enough time.
Yeah,
I mean, as I said, there was a point where I can't find it bad. It was watchable, but it just gets to the point where you're like, okay, like, where's this going now? Why do you keep getting away with it when you're a total twat?
Well, did you both watch it? We all watched it the same way, I think, with the same link, subtitled, yeah?
I rented mine on YouTube because I watched mine on
you?
the plane, and you can't download on Dailymotion, so I rented it so I could download it.
So it was all subbed. We all watched the sub, did we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently, he does not do his own dubbing in the dub version, which would be very jarring because we know what he sounds like.
There was a dub version.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't give me. He just said I only had Norwegian with English.
And he ain't even Norwegian. He's Danish.
Oh, okay. Well, Danish scripts.
We should just acknowledge his name once for people who don't know who we're talking about. This is what's his name? Nikolai
Coster-Waldau.
Oh, Jaime Lannister's Danish.
Jaime Lannister. He's got a very good accent in Game of Thrones. Like, there's a hint of an accent there, but you would believe he was an English-born speaker.
Very well.
Maybe he just moved away at the right time and kind of just his accent's faded away if he's not been living in Denmark.
Paul, I'm curious why you picked this film.
It was literally because it interested me so much back in the day that I kind of just wanted to return to it. There wasn't anything outside of that, and I thought, let's just all re-experience it together. That's literally the only reason I picked it. It's a bit of a weird year. There isn't too much to pick from.
It's the weirdest fucking year that we've
I know, that's
had.
why I struggled and had to put a call out for, like, where should I go with this?
But you know what? This kind of sits in the same family as the film that we did. My mind's gone completely blank. What did we do before Warrior?
Skin I Live In.
Yeah, it kind of...
It does, yeah.
Has that kind of vibe where there's someone tormenting someone else.
Yeah.
And you don't want any of them to win. But then I do think there's other things that happen in the Skin I Live In where you get your slight payoff. It's not one person winning the whole way. They both get fucked over. Whereas this is just somebody winning the whole way and he kind of gets away with it at the end of it.
Yeah,
you see,
for sure.
I do feel like it tried to do something a little bit different. It's interesting the fact that, yes, you have this guy that is very unlikable, and I kind of, even though it's hard to get on board, it's also kind of nice that we're following someone that we can't really resonate with, and it allows him to do this bad shit that's just off the wall. Where if it was a good guy character, then you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? But then I also like the kind of twist where, yes, it's annoying with all the exposition because it does kind of ruin it, but the fact that the reason he thinks that he's run away from this guy is not the actual reason. It's nothing to do with the thing he actually did. It's to do with the fact that he was not going to give him a job. It's like, I kind of like that, but then it's just it is the exposition dump come stories, and it's just like, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah,
and then once you really start reading into it, I don't know if it actually works. I can't picture in my head whether that actually does work or not.
It was kind of better before they explained. Like when you saw him, like when he went to the toilet and they couldn't find him, you're like, oh, I remember now because he said about the mud at the beginning. And it was almost, those parts were almost better because it's almost like, okay, you because they made a point of this, now this is happening. And then he shaved his hair and you're like, okay, then someone wants to put something in his hair. And then he kind of goes to explain it and you're like, oh, I don't want you to explain it because almost you're unraveling what I had in my head. It was almost neater in my head than it was with you explaining it.
You know what? It would work in a book. I can imagine that working in the book because then by the like you're reading anyway. It is always an info dump. So at the end, getting all that information, you can slowly piece it together as you're reading it. Whereas in a film, I think you should pepper it in a little bit more because by the end you have to go, all right, well that's a convenient circumstance that just so happened to happen at this point and that happened. Like I can't even I enjoyed it at the time when it was happening, but why the fuck was why did he get that massive lorry and ram that fucking police car? If they were like, if all you're doing is wanting to take over a CEO at another company, why are you smashing and killing police people as well?
That is the thing.
That's what I didn't get. What, he was a killer, was he?
Yeah, he was in the army, wasn't he? He was caught or something. That's where he had the big
the army connection. Yes.
And he was like a trained special person that he went in to get rid of people. So
I guess
he obviously had
that stuff. Yeah,
he was trained to kill or hunt.
But you're just killing police out here. So you're CEO of one company, and then it's like, okay, I want to be CEO of another company, so let me just kill everyone. Let me just kill the opposition.
It would be interesting to see if you spoke to somebody who's Danish, like how the film translates. So I don't know if it was an element of some of the stuff doesn't come across well when you put it on subtitles, and it might be some humor or some national
we get
humour.
The gist.
Yeah, I know, but there's certain things that would, if you tweaked it a little bit, you might have more sympathy for him.
I think the tweak was the fact that you shouldn't get that. It shouldn't be the fact that he wants to get a job. It should have been you stole his mum's painting, and then everything would have worked. That's all it was.
I thought that was simply what it was going to be. Yeah, you're right. That
That's
added
what I mean. When they
twist of him
explain
just
it,
wanting
it's
to be
not as
CEO.
good when you've got the painting in your head. You're like, it kind of makes a little bit more sense because that's £100 million painting.
Yeah, and then it does turn him into just a military psycho who's just like, I'm coming after you now because you've wronged me. Well, not because he wants to get a job.
I would have preferred it if we'd had more of that, yeah.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
But I do want to say, like, I did enjoy this film. It's only because now we're talking about it in a critical eye, and you have to obviously come and talk about what you enjoy and you don't enjoy. It's
of course.
You find
the thing that is silly, though, I knew it as soon as he said it. I'm like, oh, this is silly already. When Roger is doing some heist somewhere, and then it cuts to the Kingslayer in a business meeting saying, "We've developed this nanotechnology gel. You spread it on anyone, and you can track them." I was like, oh, that's silly, man. Fucking gel, like a gel. I'm like, this is a ridiculous concept.
They've obviously worked backwards. They're like, we need to get some tracking on him. How can we get tracking on him without him realising it? It's like, you either got to swallow it or we've got to rub it on you.
But also, tell me now, on that point, okay, he imagines that it's in his hair. It was in his hair. But then why did you put it back in the car? Because you then have to go and retrieve it later. Why didn't you throw it in the lake?
So it made it look like he was still in the car, dead.
Yeah, I know, but just then put it in the fucking lake.
But then when he tracks it on his phone, he'll go, oh, it's still in that location. He hasn't moved. He must be dead. Because he saw him dead in the car.
He makes it much harder for himself.
He shaved his hair.
Yeah, I don't know why he puts it back.
Because he puts it back with the other guy who was meant to be him dead.
Bury it under rocks right near the car so that it doesn't get taken into police evidence, you know?
I don't think he thought that stage through. Might be.
I know.
But he just wanted to make it look like he wasn't moving, he was dead, so then he thinks he's dead and he can carry on with his life.
He was doing one dry shave with that razor. There was no...
that was scabbed all... Oh, that was horrible.
Oh, yeah,
I know. No cream.
No cream.
No cream.
I gotta say though, I do feel like they wrapped it up well. Like after the exposition dump, and it kind of all fit together quite nicely. With when he goes back to his friend's house, and then he makes him look like his friend killed him with the camera watching him. I think it all worked well and it fit together quite nicely.
That's clever.
Neatly.
And then they had the police officer doesn't care. He just wants to tick on his resume. He's completed it. They're not going to look too deep. That did, I'll give you that work. But it's also at the same time he needed some confidence from this. Like, but he's just got away scot free. And all it done was make him actually open up to his wife for the conversation he wasn't having.
And then they're like, let's have a baby.
Yeah. And she's doing like, I'm fucking leaving you because you're a psycho. You're a sociopath.
Yeah.
These two are both cheating on each other.
That's it. You don't
and then
ever feel sorry for him
to cheat on him to get some information off him.
I know, right? Yeah, it's like, did he just conveniently forget that bit at the end? It's like, but you still went there and had sex with him. Like, she was basically used as a pawn for him to.
He's like, you've done it
kill him
once, you might as well do it again.
It was to save his life, though.
It was to save.
It was, but at the same time, there was no like. Let's think of a different option. It was like, no, you're doing that straight away.
Do you know why she had to be pregnant at the end?
Because she was pregnant in real life.
No, it's just basically, I think in that final scene when he is facing off against Kingslayer is firing blanks,
right?
And he isn't. So it's like, my phallic weapon is getting the job done. I will make her pregnant. You cannot.
Look at the metaphors out here.
I know. Very on the nose.
What do you think about the killing of the dog?
What do you think about the killing of the dog?
I feel like you just don't kill cats and dogs. I feel like it should be like rule number 1 of cinema. And then especially, maybe if you kill it for a plot point, but then you don't show them parading around with it on the front of a tractor.
I mean, it is interesting. Let's discuss that. Because you have your lead person who you're rooting for, or not rooting for, who you're following.
You're already on edge with him. You're already
dog.
like, you're a bit of a dick.
Yeah, it's a bold choice. It must be cultural. It must be a cultural thing, like where it's more like, well, we're so used to American films making everyone as perfect as you can. Like even like anti-heroes in American films, you wouldn't often have them killing a dog.
Yeah. And then normally the dog getting killed is a big plot point, like in I Am Legend. That's like one of the dog kills I really remember.
But at the same time, are you portraying? I mean, in this film, you're supposed to think that the dog's a villain as well because you're with the villain, right? And they're villainising this dog. So when it comes to it, yes, I'm like, oh shit, they killed a dog, but I'm not like, oh shit, they've killed a real dog.
Yeah, but they've also. I think it's the killing the dog is one thing. The parading around with it on the front of the tractor is.
I found that a little bit because it's just going down that wacky kind of lane that this film is doing all that
tacky, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's just that like it's just this. I don't know. It's just that level of just silliness this film had going for it. It kind of just worked with what they were doing.
Yeah, I didn't think of it as silly. I thought like it was kind of brutal.
It's like it's brutal, but this guy's like clumsily going through everything, and the fact that he's driving along with a dog on the front of the tractor. It's just like he can't even get away clean. He's trying to get away, but now he's got a dog on the front, and it's just like it's just lunacy.
And then it's almost like the car at the time chasing him. It's like, is it actually someone chasing him, or is he just being paranoid?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Did you just see headlights
like covered in shit?
I know that guy would not have been the one. And listen, he was all cut up. He had shit all over him. He would have had so much terrible infection after that. You wouldn't even want to live.
He did. He cut his hair off after he cut himself. He didn't have the scabs when he went into the toilet, and that happened afterwards because he gets arrested by the police.
Well, the cuts afterwards, then that poo.
It's when the scene when he's walking across the bridge and it's like these people. He looks like a leper or something.
Yeah, I mean that was very fair. If I'm going to remember two things from this film in 5 years' time, I remember him being in the shitter with the toilet roll in his mouth to breathe. Which is just ridiculous and brilliant, and him killing the dog and it being pierced on the front of the tractor. Those were the two things I remember.
Would you remember the man firing his blanks with running around with the woman naked, firing blanks at him randomly?
Oh, and they're running around the house.
Totally forgot about the fact that they would shoot in the blanks earlier in the film, so they already set that up. Yeah. I totally forgot about that.
This wild guy
like,
just hiring this prostitute just to do things like that.
I know. He was an interesting character.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
I liked him. I didn't want him to die, but like that was an interesting one because it was like, well, this guy either dies or you take him to the hospital, and he can't risk taking him to the hospital. Yeah,
and it's the whole Chekhov's gun thing as well. Is when he's sitting down, he was like, "I've got guns everywhere in the house." You know, that had to come back somewhere.
Yeah. Why did he have the guns and the bullets in the fridge? Was it just that was another hiding point?
He said he always had a gun with him reaching.
They're everywhere,
distance.
Reaching distance. Yeah,
fucking mental.
Yeah,
security guard, innit?
But once again, that kind of enjoyable just silliness where he's dragged this guy all across, shoved him in a boot, crammed him in there, and not until he throws him in the water does he wake up.
What? So, like, he had been poisoned, right?
Yes, in his knee, so it didn't get to his heart or something.
So I assume that it had like knocked him out to the point of like, you know, that deep sleep kind of unconsciousness.
His pulse was so dead it didn't exist because he did check his pulse.
Yeah, but then suddenly being thrown into what I assume would have been very cold body of water probably shocked his system.
Shocked him out of it,
and brought him to. I was not expecting it.
Yeah, which was fun. It was funny, wasn't it? A good moment. Yeah.
I also, you know, the thing is, before it even got to all of this stuff, I actually really liked the original concept and setup, which was him interviewing people, knowing that they were out of the house, and then using that.
Yeah,
to
that was
steal
almost
their
slightly more interesting. Again, you can almost forgive him in that bit of like, he's not so much of a dick, he's just winning over, but then he still needed to have something happen to him at the end.
Yeah. And it's clever to get replicas and just put them in, because then people don't even realise they've been a victim of a crime for ages, so they can't pinpoint it to when they met you. You know, it's not like immediately you come home, you see you've been robbed, and you're like, oh, well, this guy knew that I wasn't in on this day.
Yeah, but also you wouldn't think about it if you went for a job interview and he asked so many subtle questions.
Yeah, of course.
You think, oh shit, that was
you'll be on edge, like trying to get every question right, kind of thing.
But I did think, like, when he robbed Kingslayer, like, your wife is immediately going to know that this was you, because you spent ages having a conversation with your wife the night before about this painting and how significant it was.
But then you're under the impression that Kingslayer would have never found out about it because it's such a replica. Yeah, that's the whole point, right? They're never supposed to know. They have it up on their wall and they never realise it's a fake for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, but then that one detective was on the case, wasn't he? He knew that there were these crime thefts, these art thefts, so maybe they would have found out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I guess people would have some people would have realised after time.
Yeah. I mean, I like the Scandi crime stuff and whatnot. Like it was good for what it was. I think we like The Bridge. Me and you, Paul, we like The Bridge.
Yeah.
And that kind of that's the TV series for anyone who don't know, folks. That Scandi approach to crime thriller, I very much like, because it's quite bleak and quite dark as a setting and whatnot, but also unique, because it doesn't feel very British. It doesn't feel very American. It feels uniquely like Scandinavian, that corner of Europe. But if this film had gone that route, I almost think it would have been less enjoyable. It needed to have some of the nonsense and many of the twists and stuff for it to be enjoyable.
That's what highlighted this film for me more than anything. The fact that it did have that kind of light-hearted tone to it a little bit. It wasn't like overtly, like it's really strange. It's like just a glimmer of just clumsiness. That's the only way I can describe it, of the character and the way he goes about doing everything. And I think that kind of adds a nice kind of energy to it.
Well, he was clumsy, and he was bumbling into situations that would become make it easier for him. Like when he was running away from Kingslayer in the car after he faced off with him, and just by sheer luck, that Viola recycling truck passed him, so that was a block in between him and Kingslayer, so that he could get away.
Yeah. Just pure luck.
Yeah.
Clumsiness, but he gets luck in his favour, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that if he didn't kill his good mate in the beginning, he wouldn't have been able to get out of that situation.
Exactly. I think, do you know what would have probably made this, if I was going to say what could make it better, is if you have him as someone who is doing all this because he just hates all these rich fucks. He hates the corporate world and he hates the rich fucks, and he's doing it to just rip them off and take their money. But
you needed something to back him for, yeah.
Yeah, it's more like, oh, well, I've lied to my wife and she only wants the expensive stuff, so in order to give it to her, I have to live this lifestyle. It would have been better if he was like a Bruce Wayne type character where you think he's this rich fuck, but actually he's someone else.
Yeah, it's not strong enough, his conviction for why. Yeah, it's like what his line was, he's scared she would leave him or love the child more than him if they had a baby. It's like, that's
very
not really
strange.
That's not really that strong of an idea to
no, it ain't.
To work for me.
Now, Adam's being facetious when he says it, but it's true. It's like, yeah, man, just seek help. This is just your own mental headspace. Like, you've gone to so much extremes simply because you won't have a sit-down conversation with your wife.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like also, she doesn't ever come across as a woman who needs to be like splashed out on with loads of money. She seems quite down to earth.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't fund her gallery, does he?
He puts money towards it, I think.
Oh, does he?
Because that's why he's in debt. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right. I've missed that bit.
Yeah.
I thought it was just that he said something like on that last job that they did, that the fence got a big car and someone else got a big car, and his take was only like 20% at the end of the day, and that wasn't enough to meet that month's mortgage payment.
I think he gets a call from, I'm guessing his accountant, just after he like finds out about Kingslayer, and
Yes.
And the accountant saying to him there was a significant amount of money taken out of his account and what it's for, and he says about his wife's gallery, and then he's like, I'll make it work. And he's like, you don't understand the seriousness of this situation. It's like you're going to go into bankruptcy kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now, yeah. This is a serious conversation. But, like, the other thing is, I never really believed that couple were in love. Like, even at the end, where they're, like, together, and I liked the twist that she wasn't actually working with Kingslayer, but she was fucking
that was
him.
nice.
It was like, that's a nice twist. But I still don't believe you two. That's why at the end, when you think that she has betrayed him again, I'm like, yeah, I could believe that, because I genuinely don't think the two of you have a connection.
But the thing is, right, it didn't even cross my mind when when you find out that she's actually not working with him.
Yeah.
I immediately thought, as a good twist, I was thinking, oh wow, this whole thing has been created by Kingslayer to make him think that his wife's cheating on him. So then it gets him more paranoid, right? And it's like, oh, so she's not even involved. This whole thing has been like made up in his mind. But no, she was sleeping with him. It's like, okay.
Exactly. I mean, this is the thing that is kind of good about European cinema being a bit different, is you just wouldn't really see it in an American film.
It's more clean.
If this was an American remake, you wouldn't have the husband and wife cheating on each other, really, and then have them together at the end. Or you might, but it would be directed by fucking Scorsese or something.
It ends up being a double-edged sword, though, doesn't it? Because it's like, it's nice to see it, but also it doesn't really play when they're trying to show them in a great relationship at the end of the story.
Yeah, exactly. I got to tell you this, though. I was not expecting it to be good, simply because I think I said it at the end of the last episode. Everything that this man is in, Kingslayer, I mean, everything that gets marketed with him in looks awful, because it always looks like some cheap action film.
But it's normally American films nowadays.
That's true.
What it is.
Yeah. But I think it was a good thing that he actually wasn't the lead character. I was quite pleasantly surprised. I think the other guy, even though he sucks, I think that other guy is a much more interesting character to follow, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the fact that he's not an all-out good guy does make it interesting. But I don't know, it's a hard one, because you kind of, I don't fully buy into the story and like go with it, because of the fact that he's not so unlikable, but I don't like him. No. But then also it's like, well, I like that at the same time. so I can't really, I can't ever win really for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Listen, it's one of those films which is, for what it is it's good. As opposed to, like, I mean, I think we all know what score we're giving this. Maybe Adam will give it a little lower. But it's one of those films that the score is actually just, it is a good film. And that's it. So it deserves its score, as opposed to, oh, everyone thinks this is incredible, but actually it's not. That's why it's a 7 type thing.
Yeah.
Like, I prefer this to, I would 100% watch this again before I ever watch Warrior again. This is better than Warrior. For me.
I can see where you're coming from that. Yeah, it feels from the outset it's got a lot more going on.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, you would have picked up some stuff on this second viewing, I guess, because you knew kind of
for sure,
how there was things were going to play out on the second viewing. Like, I could imagine watching it again and being like, oh yeah, whereas
you'll be like, oh yeah, this actually doesn't work, because why would he be doing this just to get a job?
I know. I bet loads doesn't add up. But even a little thing, I can remember when he's with his mistress, whether it's the first time or the second time. No, it's the first time after they've had sex. Right before he leaves, he gets angry with her because she's like, I want to introduce you to someone when we go out for dinner tonight.
Shit,
and he's like,
yeah.
Oh. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there are some stuff like that. But that's where I'm not sure, if I now rewatch the film, how much of it would add up, because it's like, okay, but that meeting then didn't happen, obviously. So it had to be orchestrated by his wife, but his wife didn't know about it. So
no, I don't think it was orchestrated by his wife. It was, he had to go and tell his wife that he had a really good painting.
Kingslayer did.
Yeah, Kingslayer did, and then that makes him want to introduce himself to Roger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's all you have to just kind of go with it, because some of it is like, how solid is this plan? You kind of got to have wishful thinking for some of it, but you know, I guess that's down to Kingslayer to go all out with his plan.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I wonder if this film... No, because if this released in 2011, it's possible that this film... No. He would have been making this when he was making Game of Thrones, right?
When did Game of Thrones come out?
2011.
Oh, okay,
so
cool. Yeah.
They were probably making... He was probably making this at the set and then went from the set to go Game of Thrones.
You find that a lot, don't you, when... It must be industry people who kind of... When other films are being made, they kind of get a sense of how good an actor is before any film's being released. They get recommendations like, oh, you should put this actor in your film, because you always find that suddenly someone unknown will come along and they'd be in so many films in the first year you've ever seen them. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, you just got discovered on a set or something. And then you just gone into production after production.
Or some agent... They've been picked up by some agent who just really knows how to market their client. And it's like, this guy's about to blow up. And it always is going to be of the right age. But he's born in 1970. So he was 41 when this came out and Game of Thrones. So like he didn't really... He was a late bloomer. Normally it's young getting picked up. He's a late bloomer.
I mean, how much did he have going on before this film though? Has he been around for a long time? I don't even know.
Let's have a look. What has he... Let's sort by release date. He was in The Flash, was he?
He was in The Flash. Oh, yeah, he was for a brief moment.
As pizza guy, it says.
Yeah, he basically just standing in the street, and if it's basically blink if you miss him.
Well, weirdly, he'd done fucking loads.
Wow.
Before Headhunters, including loads of American stuff. He had none of it that looked particularly good. Firewall with Harrison Ford. Kingdom of Heaven, Ridley Scott's Kingdom of Heaven.
Oh shit! What year did that
Wimbledon.
Come out?
Kingdom of Heaven came out
the 2005.
Film? Yes, as Dieter Prohl in 2004. Oh shit! He was in something called The Good Cop with our man Kim Bodner. What's his name? Kim.
Good man. Kim Bodner.
In 2004. Yeah. He was in Black Hawk Down. Oh,
wow,
shit.
Man. He was Hollywoodized.
He was in plenty. He was in Mama.
Yes,
he was
I
in
knew
Oblivion.
that. Great horror film, Mama.
This is after Game of Thrones. I ain't seen Mama. And now he is slipping into obscurity, obviously. But yeah, I'm looking at all of the posters of the films he's done since Game of Thrones, and they just all look so shit.
I mean, it does actually look like he's done more Hollywood than anything else, really.
I know. Or maybe
Crazy.
he lives in America. Look, what is this one with
potentially.
Kim, the good cop, as so a crew of young small-time crooks screws up, ripping off a shipping container of Chinese silk for a Rasta gang. They also come away with 2.5 kilos of heroin belonging to the Latvian mafia. A friend of theirs, Jens, Kim Bodnia, a plainclothes cop, tries to mediate, but instead all barrels are turned on him. The Latvians and the Chinese want him. Jamaican dope growers, ice-cold Serbian heroin dealers, and Polish human smugglers are gunning for him. And to top it all off, he also has to dodge his fellow officers, backed by the Scuba Corps and Elite Forces soldiers, to save his young friends.
What the fuck's going on? Scuba Squad.
That sounds fucking stupid, doesn't it?
Oh man, can I tell you something that might make you a little bit excited and make warm your heart a little bit?
Go on.
Our beautiful man Kim Bodnia.
Yeah.
He's in the F1 film.
Oh, is he? Oh, well, then that is lovely. Good for
that's
him.
Lovely.
Good for that little beauty. Oh, he's so sweet.
Look of us. Look of us. If everyone probably heard us say that before. Look of us.
Look of us.
But we once saw an interview with Kim Bodnia, and that's what he said. He was talking about him and what was her name?
Saga Norrin.
Yes. The actress who plays Saga in the bridge, and I don't even know what the context is, but he looks at her and goes, "Look of us, look of us,
Look of us."
It's like we always quote it. So if we ever hear us say that, that's the reason.
That's where it's from.
It's an unlikely partnership which spells success on screen. The tough, socially awkward Malmo investigator Saga Norrin and the likeable Copenhagen detective Martin Rode made The Bridge the latest Scandinavian Saturday night hit.
And there's a bit of, what's going on here? A bit of pushing and shoving over on the other end of the sofa there going on. What's happening? What?
I always think that men sit like this. With
he's taking
bones,
up too much room.
Whoa, like this.
You're so
and then
right.
the women sit like this. And I just couldn't stand seeing myself sitting like this.
Look at us.
Look at us.
All of us.
Look at us.
Spread your legs. Okay, come on.
No.
Why not?
Because I'm wearing a dress.
Yeah, me too.
We'll come back to these guys in a second. Second series comes
what?
to its nail-biting conclusion this weekend.
Oh, man.
Beautiful
well,
man.
listen, we love Kim. He was Martin Rode in The Bridge. Martin Rode.
Martin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, we've gone off on a tangent and we're not talking about the film at all. Because it was what it was, and it was good.
Yeah. And I think I'm looking through my notes, and I think I've said everything that I wrote down.
Yeah. I saw it very fresh. I only watched it this morning, so it's like super fresh.
Nice.
Shall we start our scores off without Adam?
Everyone probably realised now Adam had to quickly run off. He's going to come back, apparently. But I guess we can probably place it without him. I reckon he's going to go for a 7 as well. What do you reckon?
I reckon he's going 6.
It could be 6, but I
think
reckon
he's 6.
Yeah, maybe.
I've messaged him. While we wait for his. We're both 7, yeah?
Yeah, we're both 7.
Quite clearly. 7. So, listeners, Adam, live update from Adam. He's going 7. All right, so Adam gives it a 7. So it's 7s all the way across the board. So the first film it has to go up against is Brotherhood of the Wolf. This is better than Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Better than Brotherhood of the Wolf, yep.
All right, we move. Next up is Multiplicity. I think Multiplicity is better, but you say?
I think this is better than Multiplicity. And Adam hasn't seen it, so it has to jump over it. So that's just how we do things.
The Thing from Another World. Me and you are at different odds, so Adam has to decide. You can clip this gap as I message him. He says it's better than Thing from Another World. So Thesis... When did we do Thesis? 2021.
Not that long ago. I'd say 2023 or 2020. I think it might be last year, you know. Yeah, it was last year.
Was
he
it?
gave it a
Wow.
7. He gave it a 7, so it's the same. You have to ask Adam again. I gave Thesis a 7, and you gave... it's all the same scores. So,
well, I would on Thesis. I think I prefer Thesis actually. I'm not sure though.
I think I prefer
about that.
this than Thesis because I remember coming out at the end of Thesis thinking it had a very strong start and then it didn't go where we wanted it to go. Where this, I kind of.
You are right. Yeah, this was steady all the way through.
Yeah,
you are right. Yes, this is better. So it goes above Thesis. So it doesn't matter what Adam says.
Yeah.
So Enter the Void is next. Obviously, for me, Enter the Void is better. What do you say, Paul?
I say Enter the Void is worse than Headhunters.
And word is coming through from Adam. Even though he gives Enter the Void a 7, he thinks it's better than this. So that's where it stops. Above Thesis, but below Enter the Void. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Because next it was going to go to bat with Kids Return. And you two shit on that. And I was not about to have that. So,
excuse me. I didn't shit on Kid Return. What are you talking about?
Oh, why do I think you shit on it? Oh, no, I'm thinking of Sonatine. Sonatine was the one that you two didn't care
Sonatine was
for,
the
really.
one. Yeah.
But weirdly, The Orphanage is above that. And that was not a good film. Like, all of the films that we've just gone through are better than The Orphanage.
I thought the Orphanage was pretty cool, man.
That's okay. So there we go.
There we go.
Shall I tell you what we're doing next without Adam being around?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
We can do it.
We could just never tell him, and he can turn up, and it'll be the exact same conversation.
All right,
I'm
just going to say
it.
one thing. I'm going to say one thing, and then you'll know what we're doing.
Oh, shit. I can't remember what's in this year.
All right. Do you like Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Oh, shit. Are we doing... From memory, are we doing... What's it called? Is it the film with Matthew McConaughey?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Killer Joe.
I didn't even know it was in this year.
Yeah.
We're going to see someone sucking off a chicken bone.
Oh, spoiler alerts for the people who ain't seen that business. We are. I think this is our third William Friedkin directed film as well.
That is a fucking great choice. I didn't even know it was in this year.
Nice. Good. Well, I think this may be the director will have done the most, actually, because I thought this was the third film we did by him, but this is the fourth, because we did Bug and Sorcerer and French Connection.
Yeah.
And now we're going to do Killer Joe. I got something in my throat for the last minute.
Get choked up talking about Friedkin.
It won't go. I know. And Friedkin.
Talking about a film that leaves a lasting impression.
Yes.
That moment, that's all I remember about the film.
Well, to be honest with you, me too, mate. I think that I own it, but I only watched it the one time. I feel like I watched it like 10 years ago. And I remember it being very good, but I can't remember much about it. So I look forward to going back to it. And I kind of feel like we needed the podcast for me to return to it, to be honest, because I can't imagine just choosing to rewatch it again.
And apart from Warrior, this is the year of the thriller, it seems.
Yeah, man. It's certainly the year of men who generally suck, I think.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, at least Warrior was a little bit of redemption in a sense, but yeah, they definitely sucked.
Yeah. They were not good men, and I don't know that things have improved much, to be honest.
Great choice, man. I'm very excited to watch that.
I think it's our first McConaughey film.
Oh, you want me to check?
Yeah, go on, check.
You gotta ride on that statement. Let's have a look.
Oh no, it's not. I've just remembered a big one. But go on, you'll see in a minute. A big one that was just a me and you episode, actually, Paul. Don't look into it. Just see if you can remember. It was me and you solo. Adam weren't with us. We had much debate about it as well.
Instantly, I think about Beach Bum, but we never did it.
No, we never did it.
McConaughey.
We did it years ago, pre-COVID, I believe. In fact, it was definitely pre-COVID.
Is it a film that was cinema release, so we covered?
Cinema. We saw it in a cinema, not together. And from memory, I think we differed. We definitely had a bit of a debate.
Oh shit! Give me another clue.
Box is a bush.
Oh shit! Yes. The Gentleman. Yeah.
Did we have a difference of opinion on that? I feel like we did.
We did. I was giving it like the the lower score, but I've kind of come round to it since. I kind of like it more now.
Okay.
At the time, I wasn't best pleased with it, but yeah, I kind of came around to it now. Did you ever watch the TV series?
No, never.
No. It was all right. It was fine. It was good, entertaining.
Well, good. That's good. And after we do Killer Joe, we'll be wrapping up 2011 with the man himself who brought us this year, right?
Yes, we will have a beautiful Julio on the show, won't we? With a very kind of different pick that we won't normally. We've only done once before this kind of thing, but exciting.
And it was because he made us do it as well.
Yes, it was. He kind of made this trend.
He did. That's a little clue for you loyal listeners.
Yeah.
I wonder if the trend of terrible men will continue in that particular film. Possibly,
yeah.
You
shall
have
see.
to tune in to find out, folks.
That's 2011. Well, that's it. Look at that. That was a lot of placing
Look
a
of
film
us.
there. Yeah, look of us, everyone. Look of us sitting here doing the Scandinavian Norwegian film Headhunters and talking about Kim Bodnia. We hope you enjoyed that.
Our beautiful Kim.
Right, everyone. Thank you, and I look forward to see you again on Killer Joe.
Tales Masters.